Welcome back. You're still watching Chinatown TV with me, your host, Trish Chua. Isa raw sa kanyang mga frustrations ay may isa pelikula ang Laurel, a screenplay by which he intends to straighten out the many distortions of the real history of the Second World War in the Philippines. His firm belief is that Sinophobia among Filipinos is caused less by their actual anti-Chinese sentiments than by the continuing cultural enslavement by Americans. Filipinos easily believe false American yarns against China. To destroy American credibility is key to curing Filipino ill will towards China. And Laurel exposes the entire breadth and width of American atrocities in the Philippines, from the time of its colonization of the country in the 1890s to the so-called liberation of Manila in 1945, in which the actual bombing of MacArthur was what reduced the city to rubble, killing 200,000 civilians and turning Manila into the second most ravaged city in the World War II, next only to Warsaw, Poland.
Isang batikang manunulat sa larangan ng pelikula. Sa mahigit 2 dekada sa kanyang karera ay nakalikha na siya ng mga di malilimutang blockbuster movies of Philippine cinema, totaling more than 50. His Burlesque Queen was not only the top box office hit but also the grand winner of awards in the 1977 Metro Manila Film Festival, garnering 11 out of the 12 awards in the competition, including the Best Screenplay Award for himself. He again won the Best Screenplay Award for Lumuhod Ka sa Lupa in 1987.
It has never been expected of me. Completely certain. I never expected it. And besides, whenever I write about anything whatsoever, it is with the pure intention of being out of conviction, out of belief. It is not about impressing anybody. Whatever whatsoever, it came from nobody. Hindi ito nagalit ang Pilipinas sa China. Ito lasto ng isip ng Pilipino ng propaganda ng United States. You can determine from the way the United States has been propagandizing, for instance, the South China Sea crisis. They call the South China Sea as the territory of the Philippines. And by that, accuse China of aggression for building artificial islands. What we do not know or we are not aware is that these areas are not covered by the UNCLOS provision on territorial seas. The provision is 200 nautical miles. But the problem is, how far is it from the Philippines? How far is it from Brunei? How far is it from Singapore? How far is it from Vietnam? How far is it from Thailand? Nag-overlap yung 200 nautical miles provision. But the way the United States has been propagandizing it is that only the Philippines has sovereignty over these areas. Hindi totoo. Kasi ang gusto ng United States talaga, siyang sumakop dyan sa South China Sea. So, yung propaganda, yun ang mali. It's not the actual mentality of the Philippine market. The problem is, yung siyempre lahat tayo, affected tayo ng media. Kaya kung ano sabihin sa media, naniniwala tayo pag sinabi sa media na maatake ang China sa Pilipinas, naniniwala tayo. So, the culprit is not China, but United States propaganda. So I propose to establish a reading center around the country. Hindi lang yung nasa radyo tayo o nasa dyaryo tayo. Once I write, wala ako actually. I doubt kung yung mga sinusulat ko nababasa ng karamihan. Lalo na yung tutawagin na sa laylayan ng lipunan. No? Yung center should be established alongside the barangay center para ini-frequent ng mga barangay people. So, nandun yung mga publication, all of the sinulat ng mga Chinese advocates. Kung may reading centers, makaugalian nila ang mag-ipunan every morning, ano ba ang bago, and we can even add the exhibition of good Chinese movies, magagandang Chinese movies. There are a lot of things that can be done through the reading centers other than yung one-time column or one-time broadcast, radio broadcast. We can go back to 1975. That was the year that President Marcos made a visit to China as the first step towards establishing friendly relations with China. Dati wala tayong diplomatic relation. So dun sa tanong, ano ang dapat gawin ng susunod ng administration? Walang magagawa si Bongbong kundi sundin yung ginawa ng tatay niya. Whatever that was. Yun ang first step para magbunga ng magandang relasyon ng China at ng Pilipinas. Yun ang nagtungo sa ginawa ngayon ni Duterte, nakaraang administration ni Duterte, para pagyabungin pa ng gusto yung sinimula ni Marcos. At yun ang isusulong ni Bongbong.
Of the more than 100 articles he has written in his column that deal with China, 50 have already been published in an anthology titled China, The Way, The Truth, and The Life. The book, evidently the main credentials for Samonte's nomination to this year's APPCU Awards, is just one of the things he has intended to do by which to help better Philippines-China understanding.